when they say, with all my greatest respect, that actually means you're an idiot.
Quite good means it's rather disappointing.
We must catch up soon means it will not happen anytime soon.
Do you want to know what it's like to learn English and meet English people as a foreigner? Do you want to know what English people really think but won't tell you? And what you need to do to understand them correctly and get accepted? If that sounds interesting, this video is for you.
We are two foreigners living in England for more than 20 years. I'm from Russia and Marcus is from Germany. We run a language school in both England and Malta. In our channel, we will show you what it's like to come to England as a foreigner and learn the language and habits of English people. You will learn things that you won't learn in language school. Things you can normally only learn when living in England. With us, you can avoid the surprises that we encountered when we came to England.
You might think it's much better to learn English from a native English speaker because they speak with a British accent. But is that really so? What people think of the British accent is the so-called Standard English or Queen's English. For example, what you can hear on the BBC. But it's called the Queen's English for a reason. Hardly anyone in the UK, apart from the Queen, speaks this way. The truth is, although it may be called Standard English, it is anything but standard.
The British Isles are made up of many different dialects and accents. More than 37 dialects at the last count. So when you come to the UK, you might be disappointed that you hardly hear the British accent. You might hear Scouse, Brummie or Cockney. Those are the names of some of the dialects of England. You will no doubt also hear Pakistani, Polish, Russian, French, German accents, as many foreigners live in England.
English has become the world language, and it would therefore be much better for you to learn the real world English. If you learned just Standard English, I can guarantee you that you would not understand someone from Scotland. The dialect is so strong, it's like a different language. Ira has a Russian and I have a German accent. We will never lose it, as you usually have to have learned the language as a child in order to speak accent-free. However, it's real-world English that we speak.
To communicate with the British naturally, we need to know how English people think. It's very important if you want to feel accepted and welcomed by the British people. So we would be happy to share our experience with you and make you aware of some particular values, beliefs and behavior of the English people, which we found fascinating and very different from our own countries.
If you are a student who is coming for a language course to the UK, or a tourist planning your first trip to England, here we will be sharing our experiences living in the UK, our attempts to understand the way they communicate, some do's and don'ts, and many other interesting facts we had to learn about whilst living in the country. Knowing this before you come to England will make your life a lot easier.
Not everything in England is what it seems. So what do I mean by that? It simply means that English people might say something to you that they don't actually mean. Some examples such as "How are you?" or "Are you alright?" A simplified version is "You alright?" or "Alright?" Be aware, they are not genuine questions. People don't actually expect you to answer anything except, I'm good, thank you, and you? Or I'm okay? Or not bad, yourself?
They are not really interested to hear a story of your life in detail. Maybe that your dog died and you're on the way to buy another one. It's just a British way of saying hello. Don't waste your breath and simply reply, I'm fine, thank you. And you? By the way, a typical American way of saying so is, how do you do? Each shop assistant will greet you like this. It just means hello.
The same applies when saying goodbye to an English person. The English person might say, take care to you. It's simply a friendly way of saying goodbye if they already know you a little bit better. It's not more than this.
For example, in German or Russian cultures, that would not be the case. We don't ask if we are not interested, or if we are interested and we do ask, we would expect to hear an honest response. Not asking the other person if he or she was alright is considered rude in England. As a fun fact, more or less anyone from outside of the UK is considered rude to English people, as the English are over polite, which is not usually the case in other cultures who might be more direct.
When people know each other, they say hi. Hi is an abbreviation of higher, which in turn is a shortened way of how are you. In formal situations, it's better to say hello. Another interesting tip, the British don't often shake hands when greeting each other. In fact, they normally shake hands only with people when they meet them for the first time, such as business meetings or some formal occasions, or they meet someone again after a long time. In Russia, normally only men, and in Germany, everyone shakes hands every time they meet. There is one thing that you must say when you meet someone for the first time, and that is nice to meet you. When it's not the first time you see someone, but haven't seen him or her for a while, you would say, nice to see you, or nice to see you again. English people will always say that, even if they don't enjoy meeting you.
English people are very indirect. The accepted code of behavior of the British does not allow the straightforward expression of what they really feel or think. Not all of them, of course, but generally they're uncomfortable with speaking directly. For example, instead of I don't like it, they would say, well, I don't hate it, or it's not my cup of tea.
English people don't like offending people and being straight to the point. It can be very confusing, as you don't really know what their true feelings are. When British people say something, they often mean something else. Some examples are when they say, with all my greatest respect, that actually means you're an idiot.
Quite good means it's rather disappointing.
We must catch up soon means it will not happen anytime soon.
I will bear that in mind means I have already forgotten it.
Sounds interesting means I'm really bored.
This is unlike in Russian or German cultures, where we tend to be more direct and express our preferences, likes and dislikes more openly. Another example, the British wouldn't ask directly, would you like to go to the cinema tonight? But instead they would ask a general question, something like, are you doing anything special this evening? Or are you busy this evening?
English people respect other people's privacy and do not cross the line. At least most of them don't. Just to summarize, in most situations in life, they try to avoid direct questions and direct answers. And believe me, it can be mega confusing at times, as you don't know what they really think, as you can only guess.
Now we come to some other typical behavior. Queuing. Queuing is a religion. I admire the British dedication to form and respect a good queue. They form an orderly line everywhere, whilst waiting for the bus, to get on the ride in a theme park, waiting for the shop doors to open, lining at the buffet dinner, literally everywhere. Queues are very important to the Brits. Never try to jump the queue. If you do push into a queue, you will get the hate from all the people around you, and they will openly inform you about their strong dislike of you. Well, that was it with the first part of our video of cultural differences of English people. If you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe. Not to forget to click the bell button so you won't miss any of our future videos. And don't forget to watch the second part with more interesting facts about English people. Bye for now.
Bye!